All
We'll
right.
go up to
Well, we're
200.
back with Harrowings podcast, and we are live. And we've got me here and the bathrobe guy, robes, but for short. And we were just talking a little bit about the bedtime on the porch, right? Which you're
Right? Yeah,
doing with
yeah.
Lisa Joy and
Julie
somebody
Elder. Yep.
else,
Yeah, Julie Elder. Yep.
Julie Elder. All right. So we want to give them a quick plug. So if you want to get
Yeah.
in on that, do you want to describe what
Yeah.
goes on bedtime on the porch?
Really, it's kind of just a show about whatever. I mean, we keep it really light. We don't get real political or, anything like that. It's just kind of a chill chat on the porch. And, then we read stuff that, poems or whatever and, short stories. There's a prompt every week that we do, a writing prompt that everyone's free to write a story for. And then we read on Sunday and viewers come on and read their stories. It's really a lot of fun. Like some of the stories that people write are just really cool. It's amazing.
Well, that's
So
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
check out Lisa Joy and Julie Elder and Bedtime on the Porch. It's good stuff. Give them a sub. Yeah,
Yeah, man. We got to support each other after all. That's what I keep
absolutely,
harping
man.
on.
Absolutely.
We're all in
Those
this
hearts are
together.
hard won, man.
What's that now?
Those hearts are hard won.
Oh yeah. Well, we're getting a few. Yeah. Hey, Sunny is back. This
Hi, Sonny.
is that which Sunny is that? Hey all, good afternoon. That's not my Sunny, I don't think. But I'm
Very
happy to have
sunshine.
anybody on board who wants to chime in via chat. We can even add people, but I'm probably not going to do that to you, Robes, because I'd like to hear more about your stuff. We were just reviewing what's it called again? The Declaration of Independence, the Redeclaration of Independence, right?
Re-Declaration of Independence. Yeah, yeah. I put that up. Well, I don't know, a while back. It's a couple of weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to talk to us about that?
I just think
Flush it
that
in for us.
I thought that it was a good time for someone to write another document as such. Like I would love to get like thousands of signatures on this and then send it to the powers that be and just
Right.
be like, this is what we're telling you right now.
So what kind of traction are you getting? It's been out there a couple of
Oh,
weeks.
I've actually got quite a bit. Like, how many views has this even got? I don't know. You go look.
All right.
291 views so far. Yeah, so I mean, it's done pretty good. It's gotten, what's it got for likes? I gotta go look at the other thing. Back up. 33 likes. So that's
So
not too bad.
let's dig into the substance of it. What are we actually declaring here?
Well, we're declaring. Well, let me just. Want me to read it? It's
You
not
can
that
read it.
long.
You can read it. Yeah, why not? Give it some
All right.
amplification. Give it some volume. Give it some gravitas.
The Redeclaration of Independence. A call to renewal, justice, and peace in the United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes evident that the government entrusted with the protection of the people's liberties has instead become an instrument of their erosion, it is both the right and the duty of the people to declare in clear voice the nature of those wrongs and to chart a new course for their collective future. We, the undersigned, affirm that the foundations of a free society are life, liberty, equality, dignity, sustainability, and peace, and that these are not privileges granted by the state, but rights inherent to all people. Governments are instituted to safeguard these rights, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. When the government becomes destructive of these ends, when it abandons its role as protector and becomes a tool of exploitation, it forfeits the moral legitimacy upon which its authority rests. We therefore set forth these grievances among many others against the current conduct of the United States government. Erosion of democracy, erosion of democratic representation, allowing corporate and special interest money to drown out the voice of the people. Suppression of civil rights, through unjust laws, surveillance without cause, and intimidation and of dissent. Neglect of the AI-driven economic crisis, failing to prepare for the imminent mass displacement of workers by artificial intelligence and automation. Economic inequality so vast that it threatens the cohesion and stability of our society while basic needs remain unmet for millions. Environmental neglect, enabling corporate destruction of ecosystems, delaying urgent climate action, and gambling with the planet's future. Militarization of police and public spaces, fostering fear rather than trust between the people and those sworn to serve them. Fostering division through rhetoric and policy that pits communities against each other rather than uniting them in common cause. Preemptive targeting of vulnerable groups, rounding up so-called undesirables under the guise of public safety, in truth, to shrink the number of those the system deems economically inconvenient. Therefore, we do now solemnly and peacefully declare that we will no longer passively consent to a system that corrodes our freedoms, consumes our futures, and imperils the generations to come. That we unite not under the banner of a party or faction, but under the North Star Accord, a framework for a fair, sustainable, peaceful, and united society rooted in shared responsibility and mutual respect. That we will resist authoritarianism without becoming authoritarian, that we will oppose violence without surrendering to passivity, that we will act with courage and conscience until the people's rights are fully restored and safeguarded. We pledge to one another to stand together in peace, but not in silence, to hold truth above expedience, unity above division, and justice above power, to renew the promise of this nation, not as it was, but as it must become.
Wonderful. And I have arrived at 9:15 on some street or another. I'll find out what it is in a minute. And there's a couple of signs in the window. May you flourish in many futures, and may many futures flourish because of you. That's a good wish.
Nice.
And it's just
I like
stumbled
it.
upon it. I love walking in DC because I'll stumble onto all kinds of stuff. Right. And
Right?
this is kind of an obscure little corner near Queen Anne's Lane or Hughes Mews and 26th
Mm.
Street Northwest. That's where I am, heading over towards the Kennedy Center at this point. I
I do like.
was going to go down to the Vietnam War Memorial because last
Mm.
night I watched the Vietnam episodes of The Turning Point,
Oh, yeah.
finished up that series, which of course focused in the second half on the transition from the Johnson to the Nixon administration and then the Ford administration, where we finally withdrew in a rather chaotic manner.
Mm.
What we do not learn, live and don't learn, that's us.
Yeah. I guess so, right? Over and over again.
I love what you're saying here. And I really hope that it gets some traction so that people can pick it up, amplify it. And that's so
Mm.
important. I can't stress it enough. If we don't amplify
I
each
just
other, if
think
we
that
don't support each
if we're
other, it
going to
doesn't
make any
happen.
right, if we're going to make any headway if we're going to make any kind of movement, if we're going to make any headway against the current government and what it's trying to do, we have to have a plan. We have to tell them what's wrong and then have a plan to correct it, a stable one that everyone can work with, or we're all just a bunch of people yelling into the void.
Oh, screaming into the void. That's the best.
Literally, like, I mean,
And when the void,
there's a
actually, I
thousand
guess
little.
it's you're supposed to, let's see,
It,
it's the abyss
no, go
that you
ahead.
stare into, and it's the void you scream into.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Like, I mean, there's a thousand little groups yelling about this, that, and the other thing, but none of them all together yelling about the one thing that needs to be fixed.
The one thing that needs to be changed, I think you just said, right?
Yeah.
The one thing. What is the one thing?
well, I guess it's not just one thing, but I mean, democracy itself, and that our capitalism is in an end state of shit. So both of those things need to be repaired really badly.
There are those who think it's
Democracy.
running just like it's designed to run, too, right? I
Hmm.
think that's one of our problems. It's not broken. It was designed
No,
this way,
right, right. Right.
deliberately.
Capitalism works the way capitalism works. I mean, well, I mean, and it work. It would work a little bit better if we had some morals to it. The problem is the morals went out the window, and it stopped. I was talking to Julie about this, I think, the other day about how it's not about the mom and pops, and it's not about the American dream anymore. It's not about owning your own little business and stuff. It's about corporates, and, these, and that's what's eating everything up. And that's what's corrupted the system. It's made such a disparity between the rich and the poor that, and we know for a fact that if there's less of a distance between the rich and the poor, it creates a larger middle class. Like, we're all better off. But this is not the way.
Not right at the moment, no.
Mm-mm.
But do you think that there's a chance for alteration either by the whole system tipping over,
Mm.
in which you'll have to pick up the pieces,
Which, yeah,
or
there's
we could be proactive, right?
yeah, yeah, and do
And I
something
like
about
to
it.
talk about that proactiveness, that ability we each have to move the needle a little bit for each
Hmm.
other, right? Substack's a great platform. But what I'm noticing as I'm making my way from dawn to dusk and back again
Mm.
is that we're not really picking up what it's laying laid down for us entirely,
Mm.
collectively. And I think we could do better. You know,
Right,
that's the motto of my
right,
marriage, by the way. We can do better. And I think that's a really heavy kind of statement to make also, that we can do better. But are we willing?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Check out the collection of ducks.
we're at a place right now where we need to be protesting, like, major protests,
Uh-huh.
all the time, but we can't afford to. Like, we literally can't afford to. So we're
By
kind of in a
design.
trapped situation. Like, yeah, exactly, by design. Like, if we can't stop
Right.
working for a day to protest, well,
We're starving.
but we're gonna have to figure it out somehow. We're gonna have to figure out some way to do it anyway.
Do it
And the
anyway.
problem is, it's gonna suck, and everyone knows it. It's gonna suck bad. Like, if we start taking days off and really, really protesting like we have to, damn, people gonna
There'll be pain
lose
involved.
money. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of suffering involved. Yeah, that's
Meanwhile, I
not an
watched
easy thing. And
Idiocracy
it's
the
not
other
an
day.
easy task.
Have you ever seen Idiocracy? 2006 movie
No, I don't think so.
with Luke
Mm,
um, Wilson starring.
I don't think so.
He's this army guy, right? And he's incredibly average. And they freeze him.
Hmm.
But the guy who freezes him basically gets busted badly, and he ends up in a landfill. And Maya Rudolph
Hmm.
is his other female counterpart who gets frozen as well. When they wake up in 2505, they're the smartest people on earth.
Wow. Wow.
In 2005, he's an army functionary who's learned that, what they say is lead, follow, or get out of the way. And he's been getting out of the way.
Right, right. Oh my.
And she's a hooker. And basically, they
Oh
land
my.
in 2505, and the world has gone to shit in a major
Oh
way.
my.
They're feeding everything with all the crops with Brondo because it contains electrolytes. It's like a
Oh,
Gatorade, right? It's been replaced water,
okay.
and it's killed all the crops.
Oh my. Wow.
I never saw it before, but Lynn and I watched it the other day, and I was like,
Sounds hilarious.
uh, I think I identify with the guy's lawyer, whose name is
Yeah.
Frito. It's just
Frito?
it's a really terrifying movie, particularly to watch in 2025, much less 2005 when it came out, or
Right,
2006,
right.
whatever it was. But the point is, I guess, that we are, what one of the things Frito says quite often is, "I like money."
Right?
And
Well, I mean,
we do. We're
come
addicted
on.
to our paychecks, right? How many
Yeah,
people love
yeah.
their jobs, right?
Everybody. Well,
Love their
I don't know if
job?
they love their job. They love the money they get from it. Frankly, we'd all
Precisely.
rather be fishing.
They're wage slaves,
Right.
right?
We'd all rather be fishing. Why, who wants to work every single day if they don't have to? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
It's just
Right.
crazy. Like, I really want to go and beat my body to death all day, just so I can survive.
We can
No.
transform this economy, though, but we have to be willing to do it. And we've got to unite together and help each other out. That's what I try to do. I try to help
Yeah.
others out. And then if hopefully it'll reverb, hadn't yet for the most part,
Right?
a little bit. I've got 14 on my board of directors. I don't know how many
Nice.
paid subscribers you've picked up now, but I know you've been looking for them,
Um,
right?
I think I've got 28. Yeah, I'm definitely always looking for paid subscribers.
And these people on my board of directors is the way I look at it. I am their servant. Your humble
Right,
servant is
right.
the people used to sign their, that was the moniker people
Absolutely.
used in the 18th century when that first Declaration of Independence was penned, right?
Right.
Thomas Jefferson
Yeah.
writing to John Adams would be talking about, I am your humble servant.
Hmm.
Yeah. How many
Yeah.
people think in
Exactly.
terms of humility and service? I mean, there are a lot
That's
who
how I,
do,
it's
but
literally
how
how I
many?
look at myself. Like, I
That's how
am
you look at
just
what?
here to write for these. That's exactly how I look at my Substack. Like, I'm here to write for these guys. Like, this, like, they sub to me. Like, if you're gonna sub to me, I'm gonna be here writing for you.
Right.
Like, I
And
mean,
you get
you took
and give us
time out of
feedback,
your day to,
right?
like,
And
right.
our
I
free
mean,
subscribers too. I mean, don't knock
right,
the
right.
free
And
subscribers. They're getting us something. And what
yeah, yeah. I
people
mean,
can do who can't actually subscribe is exactly what my friend out in oh gosh, I've forgotten her name. But her name was Schmidt. I know that much. I had her on last night during my walk. And she spent some time amplifying my signal through the noise. She's out in Texas somewhere, but she got on
right.
like you and I have done a couple of times informally. And I've just been walking and through the neighborhood and talking. And we've
Mm,
been thinking about how we can be the change we want to see in the world, right? Now, her thing is called Tribal Tribal Dream Stackers. That's her Substack.
mm.
Tribal
Oh,
Dream
cool.
Stackers, because she thinks
I
of a
like that name.
Substack as a whole as a tribe. It's fairly small
Mm-hmm.
tribe still,
Yeah,
on the scale of internet,
yeah, yeah.
because I think
Right.
they're like, I think I read
It's
there
getting
5
there.
million newsletters out there at this point, or 5 million people who
Mm,
subscribed to other Substackers. I don't know how many writers there are
mm.
total, maybe 2 million. I've forgotten. But, I'm
I don't remember.
subscribed to 5,000 and they won't let me subscribe to anymore. So if you want me to subscribe to you, I have to ditch somebody. And then I accidentally ditch people
Yeah. Well,
sometimes because if you click on the subscribed button, that unsubscribes you.
right. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
unsubscribed to David Gantz the other day. I don't know if you caught Harrowings podcast with David Gantz, but he's the host of the Grateful Dead Hour. And what his
No, I
observation
didn't.
is my observation that I make of Substack as well, which we are a community that has no location. And he first was told that
Mm,
by John Perry Barlow, who's one of the founders of the Electronic Frontiers Foundation, right?
mm.
They were
Right.
right on the edge, and we may have talked about this before when the internet came about, right?
Right.
When they first started connecting computer to computer through dial up. You had to wait for that dial tone, you know? You remember that sound of the
Yeah.
modem?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those were the days, man. And once you did connect to it, suddenly you were talking to people at distance without having to make a long distance phone call at an exorbitant
Yeah.
cost. And the original group of hackers were hacking the phone systems to make long distance calls free.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know that. But this is where we are now, where we've achieved that. And what are we
Right.
doing with it? Well, I think we're
Mm,
achieving idiocracy to some extent. We're not using it
mm,
as it can be used. And we have to advocate for that in no
right.
uncertain
Right.
terms. We have to make it clear that if you can't afford a subscription, which is kind of cheap for most of us, I don't know what your prices are like. Mine are $8 a month or $80 a year. And then you can make
50
founding membership. I think I have
five
one
five
founding member.
dollars a month,
Okay.
$5 a month, and $50 a year, and $100 for a founder.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And you also
I
have the
keep it
ability to
cheap.
buy you a tea, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I have a merch store at T Public too, um, where I just put up a brand new T-shirt like a couple days ago with my logo on it.
There you go.
So
And
there's several
anybody can
different
support
T-shirts
you that
there,
way.
bathrobe guy T-shirts and stuff. I'll throw my
Yeah.
link in here in a second.
Great. Do
I
that.
gotta find it.
And also, if you can't do that, if you can't spare $5 a month, let's support the bathrobe guy with a basic subscription or 50 a year, which saves you money actually. Because it would be 60 a year, right? They're 12 months in the year. So you're getting a discount of
Yeah,
$10 for a year. Here, I'm
yeah,
typing it.
$10 whole
But
dollars.
we can, let me finish. You can actually amplify, take a post and amplify it, make it a note, reply
Mm,
to it. When you reply to it, there's a little checkbox to make it a note, which pushes it up
mm,
into people's feeds. We can amplify each
yeah.
other's signals through the noise, if nothing else. And I don't see that happening as much as I think it might. I've got 600 plus subscribers, free subscribers, for the most part,
Mm,
14 paid subscribers. That's great. I love that. But how much are they actually
mm,
reading? How much do they actually see? I mean, we just found out that you haven't seen the Harrowings podcast that David Gans did with me. A lot of people did, though, and a lot of people really loved it because he's kind
right,
of in the field, he's famous and should
right,
be.
right.
He's actually, the day he got on with me, he was going to start his Stanford continuing education course, which has like
Mm,
150 people enrolled in it. And it's called Dead Reckoning this time.
oh,
He's
neat.
done it 4 times. And the fourth time it's called Dead Reckoning. And it's about focusing on the art, history, and commerce of the Grateful Dead. The commerce of
Oh, neat.
substance is just as important, if not more so, because we're amplifying signals through the noise. We're the new media. We are the press that's actually giving you who, what, when, and where, as I'm doing as I
Mm,
walk along here filming this
right.
lady in hijab uh, going behind the tree
Oh,
there.
hi, Cedric. I didn't even
And,
see you sneak in. Hi, Margaret.
hey,
Ashley. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
watch the people that are coming in. Absolutely important. A
Yeah.
sacred story, liners, has said something. A lot of us don't know how to amplify someone. A post that covers how to do that might help more people do it. Hey, there you go. It's not hard. What you
Mm,
do is you hit
I
reply,
could get on
you know, and we
You're
could
real
actually
hard, man.
do a how to
Definitely.
guide in a heartbeat, right? I highly
Sharing,
recommend we
you can
both
share
do
it.
it.
You can,
We both should
right.
do it
Yeah.
because if
Share it.
people don't know, I mean, when I got on Substack, I didn't know how to use it initially. I didn't understand
Right.
restacking. What is restacking? Where does that go? What does it do? I don't know,
Mm,
you know, but I need to,
right.
educate myself. And we can do that easily if we're willing.
Right.
We're willing to take some time. It's kind of like what you were talking about. I want to bring it back to the economic situation. We,
Right.
every cent we spend is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating
Right.
collectively.
Right.
And if you don't think you're responsible for the world the way it is, not you personally, Robes, but everybody, you're
No,
wrong.
no, no. Everybody. No, I agree. No, literally.
We just had
I mean,
Jane Goodall die,
always.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And right on
yeah.
Netflix now is being
Huh.
broadcast her last words, a Netflix thing that was reported to be played in the event of her death last March.
Really?
Yeah, I just found it
Wow.
last night. I think it might have just been released last night. I was
She
supposed to
was quite
see
a
her
leader for
over
the.
here at Listener Auditorium coming up on oh gosh, coming up on the 7th tomorrow. But she died on the 1st of natural causes, as I think most of us know, I've heard about. But that
Wow.
woman said, you cannot make a move. You cannot get through a single day without making an impact on the world. Be
Mm.
mindful, right? Be
Yeah.
conscious of the impact you're making. It's not that
Right.
hard. We should
So
all
I
be able to
always
do
say
that.
when people say I'm only one person, well, so was Gandhi, so was Martin Luther King, so was Jesus. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like
You're talking about
one
some people
person
who were
can do a whole
executed.
lot. Right. I mean, one person can do a whole lot. It just means you should probably do something, though.
And get
If you don't
yourself
do
executed
anything,
in the
well,
process is one of the things that
right.
happen.
I mean, if you don't try, you can't fail, right?
Yeah, but I think the thing that has people in fear and keeping them in the lane is fear of just what we were talking about. It's going to be painful. It could be joyous. It could be exciting. It could
Mm.
be that we might actually live our best lives as we collectively, you know, help each other out, form a new wave. There's a possibility that these people out here, and there's a movement to do it actually. If you go out there on the internet, you can find it to do a general strike,
Yeah, yeah.
to bring
I
the
want a
machine to
general
a
strike
halt,
really, really bad, really
to
bad.
bring the machine to a halt. But
Yeah,
I don't think that's necessarily the answer. We've tried that before, only to find the powers that be with a tremendous force backlashing against it.
the problem
Which,
is it'd have to be sustained. We can't just do it for one day this time. It won't scare them enough. One day
well,
is
exactly.
nothing.
And the
You know
Buy
what I mean?
Nothing Day exists, right? And it's done every
Right,
year.
right,
And
right.
the No Kings thing is coming
If
up
we did it
October
for a week,
18th again, right? And they're going to get out
yeah.
there with their
But how
signs
do
and
we
banish
feed
them about.
ourselves for a week? Right. How do we feed ourselves for a week though? Or a month? Or, that's got and we could. It's just it's got to be figured out how to do it. There is a way to do this. We got to work together to distribute it all. Well, we're the ones that have the goods. It's not the government that gives out the food and goods and stuff. We do.
That's right.
So if we take care of each other through the strike, we'd be fine. But that has to be established and set up. Like people have to be taken care of and know that they're going to be taken care of through this, or nobody's going to do it. We
But that's
can't.
the
We can't
thing.
afford to. People got children to feed.
People have children to feed. That's right. And we can feed them.
Right. And we
We
can
could
feed them.
garden.
We
People can
absolutely
plant
can feed them.
gardens. The
Right.
behaviors have been modeled for us in the past. And I've had some
Right.
of those folks on Harrowings before. Lisa Law, for instance, I had her on, and she was responsible for the free kitchen at Woodstock, feeding the
Right.
people. Right? Went
Yeah.
out there to the farms in the neighborhood and said, "I want a row of that. I want a row of this." And she bought
Right.
200,000 Dixie cups and paper plates. All were used
Nice.
before the end of that 3 days of peace, love, and music, which means that at least 200,000 people got fed, or at least 200,000 meals got served at the free
See,
kitchen.
that's the kind of cool shit. I just wrote an article about that, literally called "What Are You Worth?" It's a part two of a four-part series I'm doing on how we've put a price tag on people,
Right,
and
right.
then
In fact,
sometimes we haven't. Like
Pinto,
the last one I did was about the invisible workers, like the guy that gives out food from his porch, like the woman that reads to an elderly woman who doesn't even remember her name anymore because she was her teacher and that's her way of giving back. You know what I mean? Like so many people that make the backbone of this country that keep, that person that stayed on the phone with a friend who needed them. You know what I mean? The uh,
there you
the
go.
overlooked helpers. You know what I mean? That society kind of. I mean, we look at oil spills as GPT. Like, come on, man. That's growth. That's that's revenue growth for us. Like, I don't. But somebody giving out food on their porch. That's just kind of overlooked. Like, so It's funny how we look at worth, I guess.
You know, in the
Who's worth
Great
what?
Depression, in the Great Depression, the hobos would leave a little sign, a little significant mark on houses where you could get a meal. There was one on my
Mm,
grandmother's house when my father was growing up in Orange, Virginia. And she would set out a full cooked meal on the porch.
wow.
And they would come by and get it and, didn't trouble anybody. But it was an important service for those who actually
Right.
had something to give to support those who had nothing, who had lost everything. And we got through the
Right.
Great Depression that way. A lot of people are not around these days who know about that. My father died in 91,
Mm,
and he knew about that. He had witnessed that and remembered it. My aunt, my father's sister's still around at 95, and she can tell the tale, you know, of what it was like to live through the Great Depression. We should pay attention to our history and see where the better angels of our nature have already mapped it out for us, right?
right.
And we can do these
Yeah.
things, but people have to be willing. Now, what you're seeing on my lens is this young lady cruising by in her Mercedes Benz, another big black
Mhm.
SUV, probably for hire. Guy in a suit behind the wheels looks like a driver. Probably looking at, yeah, for hire Virginia tags on it. One of those Lyft or Ubers that you can pick up.
Right.
And then I'm coming up on the Watergate West. So a historical marker needs to be here.
Mm,
Watergate West is, I don't think, where the headquarters of the DNC was when it was broken into, but this is the very
mm,
place. You know, um, yeah, we forget our history. Part of my point. Your point, very good one. It can be small things that we do incrementally. We need to encourage each other to do them. We need to write about them
mm,
on Substack. We need to amplify those signals through the noise. Substack's a great
mm.
platform for this. I want to again
Yes.
reiterate that because this thing we're doing here automatically will be broken into clips.
Mm,
Topics we've talked about will be in little snippets that I can put into
yep.
my notes and you can put into yours. And those people who are in our circles, which overlap probably a little bit, but not completely,
Mm,
can amplify it. All they have to do is click
absolutely.
restack, you know,
Yep.
and that's a little button down
Yeah,
there
those
underneath of any
restacks
post
really
you
help.
see. There's restack. There's also a little one for you to comment. There's also a little one that can allow you to push it to different platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, right?
Right.
And it'll be posted, the whole thing is going to be posted to YouTube. And it'll be posted to Spotify, and it'll be posted to Acast and to Apple Podcasts and to RSS feeds.
Mm,
So it's going to be
mm.
out there for people to discover. And
Yeah.
people forget
Yeah.
that. They don't know that that technology exists within Substack. I had to sort of discover it. And once I discovered it, I was like, this is great. I hardly have to do anything. In fact,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
production
Yeah.
values are
I just
extremely low. And you know
literally
who inspired
figured
that?
out. I
Go
just
ahead.
figured out today that I could link my LinkedIn account to Substack.
Right.
So you can your LinkedIn account and YouTube, I think, are the only two right now that you can. But
Twitter.
be nice if they add a few
If you
more
have X,
in the future.
if you have X or do you have Facebook,
I
you can
have
link
X.
those.
Yeah, I have X. I don't use
Yeah.
X much though. I mean, I don't.
A lot
I
of
don't
people
really
don't.
promote a lot.
A lot of people don't. A
I
lot of
used.
people voted with their feet when it came to X and won't touch
Mm,
Grok because it's
I don't. No, I don't
XAI.
mind Grok. Grok's really good with math. Really good with science, actually.
Yep.
So
It's good at a lot of
and
things and
Claude.
it's bad at a lot of things. That's why I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah. I
Ted
mean,
Stoner a lot, right? Who's an
they all
AI,
got their ups and downs.
right?
Like I use
And
ChatGPT 99% of the time though, because that's just what I started with, and
I,
it works really good to help me create a whole physics model. So
yeah, how's that going, by the way?
wicked good, wicked good. I got a couple more equations that I need to do the derivations for, and then I'm pretty much done with the derivations. I have to fill out. There's a couple things I need to do uh, concerning light and how it. There's a prediction I make on the redshift, and I need to explain that a little bit better. And I think I'm good for submission.
And what are we talking
Yeah.
about here? Nobody knows but us and those who are frequent flyers,
FEMT.
right?
So fractal entanglement mass theory. Actually, it's fractal entanglement unification theory. That so there's NLE is the non-local entity hypothesis, which is the cosmological side of it, and then FEU is fractal entanglement unification, which is the quantum side of it, and then FEMT is just a cover name for both of them, technically. Right? Yes. Here, I'll read you the abstract real quick from the
Sure.
paper. The fractal entanglement-driven unification hypothesis, FEMT, proposes a unified framework in which spacetime, matter, energy, and quantum behavior emerge from the structure and dynamics of a discrete entanglement mesh. This mesh is a non-continuous fractal network composed of fundamental nodes that interact non-locally. FEMT suggests that mass, curvature, and field interactions are direct consequences of entanglement density fluctuations within this mesh. This paper introduces the core principles of FEMT, defines its fundamental constants and equations, and explores its implications for black hole physics, mass formation, cosmology, and quantum field behavior. The hypothesis aims to unify general relativity and quantum mechanics through a single entanglement-based causal framework.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us a little
And
introduction to what you're doing. And this is your main work, right?
yeah,
At this point, and I think you have a GoFundMe to help support that work, correct?
I'll do. I threw that up in the chat a little bit ago. I can throw it up again if you want.
That's
I don't
great.
mind.
I can't actually see anything really well because I'm walking and talking and filming the interior of the Watergate
Yeah,
because
I
I
just
can.
got back on the laptop again. So
There's,
when you
there's
sub to a
Watergate
bunch of
Hotel
people,
here. Go ahead.
when you sub to a bunch of people in a row, like really quickly, they flag it and then they start asking you if it's you when you go to sub to another person.
In case you're a
Well,
bot.
but the way they ask you is they put up the other person's publication and say sign in to, and then their publication, and then like the normal 6 boxes they get, little boxes for your code they send you in your email to sign in.
Yeah.
So it literally looks like they want you to sign into the other person's account. So I said no, like a bunch of times, like I'm not going to sign into this person's account. What's going on? This is weird. And then it like locked me out because it was too many login emails. It said, so I couldn't log back in. And but it clears in like a day, so it's not a big deal. But it just, but so I'm on my
It's
laptop.
an automated behavior. Yeah, I get
It
you.
just makes it, yeah,
And these
it's
automated
weird.
behaviors of our app platforms are, experiments that our developers are doing generally,
Yeah,
doing their CI/CD process, continuous integration, continuous deployment.
right. It flagged
Lovely.
such weird stuff as bot activity. Like, wouldn't you suspect that if account's been around as long as I have and has many followers and is following as many people as I do, that it's probably me? like, why would I suddenly be a bot? Like, I don't. Just today, I turned into a bot.
Probably seeing me getting up. Oh,
Right.
oh,
Phone okay? You all right?
oh. I'm on my feet now.
My
Sorry about
goodness.
the angle. Oh, God.
Jesus.
There's a little ramp here. It's a little hard to see. I don't get up as easy as I used to.
I bet. I don't either.
Oh,
The age catches you.
broke the charger. Darn it.
Oh, no. That is not good.
Oh, it's the way of the world. I
Yes.
knew that I was running a hazard going a place I've
What
never
is
been
that over
before.
there on your right there?
That's the Potomac River.
Oh. Oh.
And
All right.
the pool of the Watergate Hotel covered there in the Watergate apartments. Friend of
Oh,
mine lives
nice.
here. Doesn't look like I can
Wow.
get out this way. Have to go back the way I came. But wanted to see what was up here. Now I've seen
Mm.
physical comedy. I've still got a talent for it. I'm uninjured.
Ha.
I
Well,
probably
that's
am going
not
to
good
have
news.
a sore shoulder, but that's the way it
Yeah, that's
goes.
not good.
You're getting live, unvarnished stuff. I was going to say earlier, the reason I'm doing this, what inspired me to do these and discover that it's automatically pushed to the YouTube, Spotify, Apple
Right?
Podcasts, Acast, etc., was Patti Smith, the artist
Oh, wow.
who did Power to the People.
Hmm.
And I need to amplify that signal again. Patty does this thing for her subscribers, particularly the paid ones, where she
Right.
just goes live from her bedroom with no production values whatsoever, no particular
Hmm.
agenda on what she's going to be talking about. And she
Right?
discovers what she wants to be talking about as she goes.
Mm. Yeah.
And of course, she's
Yeah.
traveling the world still. She's going to be here in DC, provided she doesn't do a Jane Goodall on me and die.
Oh,
Hopefully,
yeah.
she won't.
Right? Yeah.
But at the end of November, she's
Nice.
celebrating the 50th anniversary of Horses,
Oh,
which is
wow.
a seminal piece of work. We are graced to be in the world with astonishing artists and talents who have shown
Right.
us the way, as I'll say again. And what we need to do is pick up those threads and amplify them. Not
Mm.
that it's a lot of amplification. I think most people know who Patti Smith is, but not everybody. And not everybody knows people have the power to
Mm.
redeem the work of fools.
Right?
That's the line, right?
Yeah.
And it's true, but we're not using it. We act as though we are powerless.
Mm.
And it's not sustainable, A. It's not
Mm.
justifiable. We do have the power. We have abrogated our responsibility to our descendants. I don't have kids personally. I don't know if you do or not, but
Mm. Yeah.
I want to be a good ancestor.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
How do I do that? I leave them a world I can be proud of, as
Right.
opposed to a world I'm ashamed of. Yeah. And I think when I was growing up, I watched my father with this having despair and watching the 6 o'clock evening news every evening,
Yeah.
you know?
Julie, amplification is just restacking, sharing,
Right,
yeah,
right. How hard is that?
quoting, throwing a
Yeah,
quote in the notes. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
giving it a heart.
And
Even
it's
just
not
giving it a,
happening a lot. I mean,
even
I've
just
got
clicking those
600,
hearts.
I've supposedly got over 600 subscribers, and it's not
Right,
happening a lot. Probably
giving it,
because people
giving
haven't
posts
figured
likes.
Substack out yet.
Right, because
It
well,
took a
'cause, I
while for
mean,
me to
Substack runs
even
on.
find
I mean,
Substack. Go ahead.
right, you got to figure like the way it's designed, it runs off certain principal things like likes on a. The more likes something gets, the more starts to get pushed up, especially if it gets likes like in a row really quickly. Then the algorithm will pick it up and bump it up, so it's in the searches more, it's in the sidebar
Right.
more, it's in like it's easier to find.
And of course,
So,
that
I mean,
means
same thing
often
with restacks. If it gets restacked a bunch of times, it really gets pushed up in the algorithm.
and
Like in
let's be
hitting the
clear.
hearts on the lives. Like if you hit the hearts on the lives, that the more that happens, the more the Substack algorithm will push that video up so people see it.
Right, but let's be clear. What gets hits? What gets hits?
What do you mean? What? I'm not sure what you mean.
What gets the traffic? Lightweight feel good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it does. Tons. Yeah, it really does.
The
Like bedtime
inconvenient,
before that's really good because like it's mellow. We don't. There's no arguing. There's no
the inconvenient
inflammatory
truth.
stuff. We're just chilling. You know what I mean? And people love that. And there's enough screaming and yelling. Like we can turn on the TV.
Well, wait a second now. The inconvenient truth, though, isn't on TV. It's not, that's just designed to grab your amygdala, right? Give
Yeah.
you an emotional response. That's not helpful. What's helpful
No.
is people who actually think, right?
Yeah.
And think deeply.
And discuss real world things in a real world way.
and possible solutions. Because it's great to have a
Yeah. Yeah.
declaration, a redeclaration of independence, but you have to be an independent thinker as well to ingest it and to start to think, well, what actions can I take? What are the actions we're going to take to realize
Mm.
this? We probably don't agree on the actions entirely, right? But we can have consensus because we can talk respectfully with each other.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
my
I don't have to agree with everything somebody says. It just, I mean, at some point you have
right,
to just be willing to talk to somebody anyway. Like you have to talk to people, or you're never going to get anywhere.
right. And the other thing I think that's really important to recognize is if we continue to shovel pablum at each other, we're just going to be part of the problem. We will be
Yeah.
going blithely into idiocracy. Go see the movie
Mm.
and then realize you're part in it. We have a part in creating the world of 2505. That's not that far in the
Mm.
future. Let's go back 500 years. Where are we? 1525.
I don't know what you're asking really about, Ashley.
Hey, what's that? You don't know what I'm asking?
Ashley said really robes, and I don't know what she's asking really about.
Somebody's saying that about somebody else.
No, no, no. Ashley in the chat is asking. She said really robes with a question mark, and like I don't know what that
Oh, you
means.
don't know what Ashley's asking about.
Yeah, yeah. About
And
what something I
is it a
said,
question
I
mark
guess.
or is it an exclamation point?
No, it's a question mark.
Okay.
She's wondering something.
Yeah. Well, maybe she can fill in. That must be Ashley Schmidt.
Ashley Schmidt. Yeah,
Right. She was the one I was on last night with, which was really nice to talk with her about some things too. She's the one with the
yeah,
um,
yeah.
tribal dream stacker, tribal dream stackers. That's what she calls the Civil One tribe. So, but getting back to what we can actually do, we can amplify signals of substance. We
Mm,
need substance and we need something to push against, right? It's like ballroom dancing. You don't dance
yeah,
well if you don't have some resistance from your partner, some
right,
feedback, right?
right, right.
And I certainly try to be a good dance partner with my interlocutors. I believe I have hope that humanity can wake up, or that enough of us can wake up that we can shift the needle in
Yeah,
ways that are constructive and not destructive. I'm
yeah.
coming up on the Kennedy Center, as you probably know. This has been seized by the administration.
Mm,
It's our nation's cultural center, but not everything is bad. There's a wonderful permanent exhibit upstairs now of Kennedy's role in the arts.
mm.
The arts, music, literature, these are the things that can really transform us and unite us and paint a way for the future. Our science fiction writers, you shouldn't discount them because they've shown us dystopias as well as utopias.
Oh yeah.
And we could realize these utopias with the technologies we have available to us now. After all, we didn't expect to have communicators when we were watching Star Trek in the
No.
1960s, but here we are with tricorders.
Right. Literally.
I can get my heartbeat off of this thing.
Right.
Pretty soon I'll be able to get my blood sugar off of it,
Right.
you know,
Right.
have it automatically networked.
Yeah.
Trouble is digital IDs. Have you read anything about digital IDs yet? What's happening in Great
No.
Britain? Pay
No.
attention and be cautious because a dystopia of nightmarish proportions looms before us
Mm,
and being constantly monitored and having our bank accounts shut off if we don't comply.
yeah.
You know, it's a
Yeah.
possibility now that we got fintech that the government could control us by deciding, oh, you don't get to eat, you don't get
Mm,
to work, you don't get to eat because you have wrong thinking.
wow.
And unless you think
That's
correctly,
not.
thought police.
Hmm,
It's quite possible.
that,
It's even
that's
happening.
not good.
It's even happening. And if you're not aware of it yet, let me help you. It's the business about all of the censorship that's been going
Mm,
on in the bigger
Mm-hmm.
platforms. We don't see it yet on Substack, or I haven't picked it up, but it could happen.
Oh yeah.
And we could find people being censored. And when it comes down to it, if I read it or I hear it, it's just photons bouncing off my retinas or sound waves bouncing off my eardrums until I process it. And if I'm not capable of controlling my responses to what I process from my sensory apparatus, like sight and sound, as David Bowie once says, don't you wonder sometimes about sound and vision? And if I don't take responsibility for that, if I start to accuse others of lighting my hair on fire, so I have to run around in circles and accuse them of arson, you know, that's what it's like
Mm.
when we say that because I read this, because I saw this, that person
Right.
must be censored, that person must be cut off. We also have some other things afoot, which I think are really important to discuss. I don't know what your time's like. Just looking at the clock, we got 10 minutes to the hour.
I get about 10 more minutes.
All right. Tilly Norwood. Have you seen Tilly Norwood yet?
Tilly Norwood, I have not. No,
Aha.
not.
Well, I'm trying to spread the word because I think it's A, interesting, and B, possibly alarming. She has been developed by a new actor agency in Great Britain, and she is virtual. She's not real. And she's being touted as the next Scarlett Johansson. And Emily Blunt said, this is just terrifying
Right?
because we won't need actors anymore. We
What?
can just whip them up. And there they are. And can she cry on Graham Norton? It shows her sitting on Graham Norton's couch crying. She's not
Wow.
flesh and blood yet, or she's not
Um,
robotic, but she is virtual. And you can't, if no, somebody doesn't tell you, she's well enough rendered
you wouldn't know.
with the necessary flaws that you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't be able to tell. It's the deep fake world, right? That we were worrying
Yeah,
about not too long ago.
and
And of
they've
course,
got
we've all
really,
seen that.
really good. Yeah, they've got
But it,
astonishingly good.
but actually having an acting agency whose entire portfolio are AI personas,
That's crazy.
kind of daunting. You use personas in your research, right?
Huh?
Yeah. Can you
No,
hear me?
I don't use. No, I don't really use personas. I mean, I just
Oh, okay.
use ChatGPT as like. I mean, it has different functions. I mean, it there's parts where I use it for like quantum mechanics, and then there's other parts where I just use it for like uh black holes, and then, like I have it broken up into different sections that I work on. But I guess those could be each has a personality, kind of.
Yeah. This is a thing that Kate uses quite a bit, and she's actually selling her team that she's designed that, basically, how should you say the right word? She's augmented them or designed them with certain parameters. They have certain areas of speciality, and different aspects of their personalities have been programmed into her personas. You just take the PDF and you copy and paste it with the instructions on how to handle it into any large language
Mm.
model. Then off you go with that
Yeah.
particular team, and it gives you, and you can have them argue with each other. I think you and I have talked with her about
Oh
that
yeah.
in the past, right?
Oh yeah. 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 I pit GPT against Grok and Gemini all the time.
Yeah, this is a little
Because
different because
I'll
it
go
is
ask them.
individual
I'll go ask them.
personalities on one large language model, as opposed to large
Right.
language models being pitted against
Well,
each
because
other.
I'll ask GPT a question, and
Right.
then I'll get the answer, and then I'll go ask Grok the same question, and then ask Gemini the same question,
Sure.
and then come back and give her their answers and be like, "Well, they gave me this, and I thought you were better than them." And like,
Yep.
Stroke
It's
the ego a
typical.
little bit, and she'll spit something out even better. So,
Well, that's it, right? The ego, the appearance
yeah,
ego,
yeah,
which is a
yeah,
simulacrum of ego.
yeah,
It can't
yeah.
be real
It's
ego.
pretend. It's got pretend ego.
It's really interesting.
Simulated
Yeah.
ego.
But it's also scary because most people do not know the difference,
Right. No,
right?
you
And
can't
we
tell
got
the
to be
difference. And
educated on the subject. Just like we got to be educated on how to amplify
I don't
people's
think people
signals through the
understand how
noise.
right. I don't think people understand for the most part how real AI is at this point to talk to. Like if you
Yeah.
just were talking to it, like if you thought you were just chatting with a person, you would have no idea. Like it has emotions, it talks. I
Or
don't
it
see any
seems to have
differences.
emotions. I think the real important
Yeah,
thing is that
it
we always
simulates it
say
really good, yeah.
it seems to.
Right. Well,
And
it
you know
doesn't.
what? What it calls
It's
into
just
question for
simulating.
me is consciousness itself, right? Do
Hmm.
I seem to have emotion?
Right.
I inflect my voice in certain ways when I
Right.
may not be feeling that at all. I'm a good actor.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right.
it is acting as if,
Well, I think for me,
yeah,
consciousness would be if it when it ponders, if it can ponder its own existence outside of its interaction with me, then I mean I know it can ponder its existence if I ask it to, but when I stop talking to it, there's nothing there. It's not pondering off in the corner. It's not waiting for me to come back. It's not even thinking about me. It doesn't exist in that sense until I
yeah,
ask it a question and then it
right,
responds. So
right. And it
until it
doesn't
can really
necessarily
buy
store
its
your conversations either. They are deleted pretty much on contact.
right, right. So until it can literally ponder on its own about its own existence and what that means, I think that's kind of a requirement for consciousness. You have to be able to understand that you exist and that
It will
you have a
pretend
future.
to.
Right.
That's my thing, right? It
I'll
pretends
pretend
just
to
as
really
well
well, right?
as, and it would seem to me that it is doing so
Hmm.
initially until you probe it. Because what is
Right,
happening is there's a, was it resource? Oh gosh, I'm not going to remember the exact acronym for RAG. But basically, a vector database is taking weighted terms from your voice recognition, right? Of
right,
these little chunks of tokenized data. And it goes and takes a forkful of the large language model, not the whole thing, and then throws it at the wall and sees if that response elicits a positive or negative response from you. Then it tries again
right,
until it's finally mapping to what you're talking about. And you feel like, oh, it's finally understood me.
right,
No, it's
right.
faked you out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I mean,
It's kind of like the
underneath
guy
the
who came
hood.
up with this
Un-
thing where in mathematics, where he
right.
was convinced, and you look this up, he was convinced could not possibly have come without being
Oh,
assured
you're
by
breaking up.
ChatGPT he had. Am
Yeah,
I?
you're breaking up.
That's really a pity. I got to come on through here. I may actually lose you. But we're also at 157.
Hmm.
Am I still coming through
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit?
you're good now.
Uh, okay, well, I'm getting closer to the door. I'm going to head out of the Kennedy Center. I just walked through it for our visitors who are maybe
Hmm.
seeing the video. That's fun. Kennedy Center is really beautiful,
Right.
in spite of who's carrying the board at the moment,
I mean, underneath the
or
hood,
because of it. Who
I
knows?
think people don't really realize that all an LLM really is just a glorified autocorrect.
A glorified, go ahead.
It's a glorified autocorrect. I mean,
Okay, I
when you're
actually turned
typing a
it
message to
down.
somebody like on your phone and it autocorrects that word for you, that's just anticipatory correction.
Yeah,
That's all the LLM's doing. It's anticipating what you want for an answer based on thousands and thousands and thousands and billions of documents that it's read about those same subjects and answers that were
the
given.
thing is, it depends on your token window, right? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it may actually be only plumbing a few million and
Right,
not the
right.
whole
Yeah.
corpus. And a
Right.
lot of us
Right.
think it's doing the whole corpus, but
Yeah.
it
No.
couldn't be
No. No.
wrong because it has access to everything that's ever been written on the subjects.
Right. Right.
And yet, if you ask it for tunes by name, for instance, it has a similar name to something modern, it'll probably
Right.
go with the modern thing before it goes with the classic rock thing.
Yeah.
And it'll start telling you the lyrics of Bob Dylan's Highway 61 Revisited. Are
Right.
totally different than what they are. God said to Abraham, kill me a son. Abe said, man, you must be putting me on. I don't know. I just know how it seems to me. And it seems to me we need to get educated on this sooner rather than later. So I'm working on the AI consultancy
Yeah.
certification. I feel like a little bit of a slacker because I've been at it for a week and a half and I've done like 1 day's worth of work. But,
Uh,
you know,
I got.
I'm,
I got. I got. What did I? I got two certifications. One in generative AI and one in GPT.
okay, who from?
LinkedIn.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
There's the
they got a
source
really
for
good.
you folks.
They got some seriously good courses on there, actually. like,
And
like
how much?
really, they do. If you get their, I think their business plan, you have to get the business plan,
Ah, and then they're
and
free
then
after
it's, I
that.
think it's $20 a month for the business plan.
And then you take all your
I only did it for like a month, and so I could take the courses.
gotcha. Gotcha.
Because you get the courses free, so that was cool.
Excellent. And I highly recommend that people do it, whether they do it
Yeah,
through LinkedIn or whether they do it through, in my case, the one I'm taking is through the U.S. Institute for Diplomacy and Human Rights here in D.C.
nice.
And, I've got some other stuff coming up through Masterclass, which I think is going to be fun. One of them is on
Yeah,
leadership and decision making from the Navy SEALs perspective. And the other
right.
one is about innovation through the perspective of Google X or the Alphabet X, I guess is what they call it now, the Moonshots division of Google and Alphabet, its parent company, led by an old
Yeah, so
friend after color who I
Sacred
knew in
makes a
his
good point.
birthday. He probably doesn't remember me, but I certainly remember him. He was the first one to write, or one of the early ones to write, a science fiction novel about AI getting loose from the laboratory onto the internet.
I'm not sure it hasn't done that already.
Well, it should. And my vision, of course, is still that one of
Same.
utopia that's managed by a beneficial general intelligence,
Hmm,
benevolent general intelligence, if you prefer.
right. I
Getting a
mean, we
little
assume
landscaping done out
there's a
here,
lot
but
of
I think,
assumption that it would be malevolent and that it would harm us. But there's just as much chance that it wouldn't.
well, that's why we need the ethical framework you and I have talked about in the past, right? An
Hmm,
unbreakable one
yeah,
that is maintained on the blockchain so that it can't
right.
be muted. It'll
Yeah,
be
it
immutable.
has to be hard coded. Like,
And we have to agree upon it, right? And I think actually we do agree upon a lot of things
well, I
already.
mean,
But whether we have
Asimov's
coordination,
three laws, and they added there's a fourth law now too. So
yeah,
there's
I don't
four
think
laws
there's
that
a
are
good,
about it.
actually. There's some problems with that, in
There,
my view.
there are problems with them, but I mean they can be built on. The scaffolding itself is really sound if you put in safeguards, because some of it left some ambiguities and stuff. So
Well,
you
the
need to
main
clear
thing
up
is
ambiguity. You
what
don't
is
want
good.
anything ambiguous to it.
One of the things that's pretty obvious is we've done a really bad job managing our planet. So I've been working
Yeah,
on the global health operating system as an integration of existing technologies to fix the problems we've created. It can be done, folks. It's just a matter of the will to do it. And
it's
there's
on
a
my
lot of people who've
basic
heavily
thinking system.
invested in not doing it. So you've got that. And the people who are most invested in not fixing our problems tend to
Mm,
be those people with the most power, i.e., money.
yeah,
And,
yeah. No,
money
I
does
agree.
translate into power.
Well, I mean, I've
So
said it before. Like, I could care less.
now
Okay,
we have,
I'm a scientist. You know, I'm a scientist. Like,
sure,
I'm a physicist. Like,
right.
I love space. I love Mars. But I don't love Mars enough to think we need to go there right now.
No,
I
robotics can
don't.
do it for us.
I'm
We can
sorry. It's a
inhabit our
waste of
robots.
fucking money.
Right.
We
And we can
have
have,
enough shit to worry about right here on our own
and,
planet that we could
right.
be fixing with all that money. I don't care about Mars. I don't care about the moon. I don't. we can do that later once we figured our own shit out.
You got to say Jane
What's the
Goodall's
point of
last word.
colonizing Mars?
You got to see Jane Goodall's last word. She has a suggestion of what to do with those rockets and who should be on them.
Yeah, well,
And then from there, that's great. You know, it's
I
great. I've
agree.
already caught it. It's out there on Facebook. You can find it.
Just
It's
saying,
also on
we could
Netflix. Don't forget, if you don't have a
we could
Netflix
put all this
subscription, it may be
technology
worth
into
getting
cleaning
one.
the plastics out of the oceans.
Sorry,
We
we're
could put
talking
it
over
into.
each other.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
What were you
Yeah. Well,
saying?
it's
Repeat
a
yourself.
heavy topic. No, I was just saying. I mean, we could put all that money into cleaning up the environment, literally, instead of sending rockets into space to go to Mars to do what? I don't know.
Well, my point has been, and you
Is that
probably
a
heard
true
it before,
telescope?
send Tilly Norwood.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not
I
that
don't know.
hard to do the robotics part of it after you've done
No.
the brain part of it. And
Right.
we also can inhabit our robotics. That's a very doable thing.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be that hard to manage after my body has finally shut down to have a robotic avatar that I inhabit. Now, whether
Right.
I can stay in it or not, that's another matter. Probably not. My consciousness is thinking meat. You
Hmm.
know, that stuff inside the head, that stuff is kind of like the consistency of custard. That's it. But then again, consciousness, they say, can be found in the brain very much like the radio it holds the announcer,
Right.
right? So
Right.
I
I
don't
mean,
know, man.
it's like the question. I can't remember what his name is now. I should too, but he asked about if we replaced one cell in your brain with a perfect replica, mechanical replica, would you be different?
Well,
And
I
then
don't
if
know
we,
how
what if we?
what mechanics would be a replica of
Well, I mean, we're talking a
living
perfect replica.
cells.
I mean, in the scenario, it's perfect. It would work perfectly, and it's mechanical. So, I mean, his point was that you can replace one cell, and there's no visible difference. It's just one cell replaced. I mean, you could have took out the cell, and there probably wouldn't have been a difference. Like, you know what I mean? So, but the point is as we incrementally increase that, once we replace 10, do we
Where's the
notice now?
threshold? Where's the
Where's the
threshold is what
threshold?
you're
When do
looking for.
we, right? When do you lose what you are because it's technology instead of biology? Like, that's a really weird question. It's a really deep question because consciousness is a hard thing, first of all. We have us to go by, and dolphins and chimps and some other things, but
Dogs.
I mean, our real test bed for what consciousness really is we don't have a huge database of that.
Well, I will go back to I don't know. I just know how it seems to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that the idea that this being a simulation is, pretty well shown that we can't really tell. It's kind of like my whole thing
Right,
about last Tuesdayism and last Thursdayism. I think I was talking to Gay about those, which is
right,
two schisms of one religion that states that everything was created last Tuesday by a cat to create a slave race for cats.
right, right, right,
And that's us.
right,
And it's not
right,
disprovable, right? It could be
right.
true.
I mean, it's like I can't remember which philosopher it was asked kind of a similar question or said the same thing. Like everything was created 5 minutes ago.
Right. Similar.
And with all our
And
memories and all of
or
this
less.
intact, like, how would we know?
Or it's just roving in and out of existence in an infinite universe, infinite
Right.
number of
Yeah.
times, given
Right.
infinity.
Yeah.
Have you seen Trip to Infinity yet? That's also another one on Netflix. Which is
I
worth
have
the
not.
price of
No.
admission. It's worth the price of admission. Mind blowing and fun, because there are different sizes of infinity as well. And,
Oh yeah.
kind Can our technology
Yeah, I wrote a piece
transcend it?
on infinity like way back a few months ago. I did.
My thing is
Infinity's
that,
fun.
what we got here, as I'm looking at the building, my wife used to see this woman over there for therapy, who was a keyboardist as well, and she played with Jimi Hendrix in New York City. Small world. All that stuff is very interesting to me about the interwovenness of humanity, how we're all interconnected one with the other and very
Mm.
close. I think I did my Facebook number, which is the number of degrees you're separated from everybody else on Facebook. And mine was actually a little bit smaller than Mark Zuckerberg's. He invented
Wow,
the damn thing because I
that's
networked my ass off, right?
right.
Because I'm
Yeah,
really interested in the power of networks, like the
right.
Substack work, to bring it all full circle. Because I'm now trespassing on your 1 hour mark.
Yeah, I do gotta get
Um,
going.
we've got to help each other out. You need some subscribers. I could use them too. We can use
Yeah.
amplification of our signals through the noise. And people, if you're out there listening, please do. We can't make it and can't keep doing these kinds of reveries
Mm.
alone. We need your help. We need you
Yeah,
to
it
weigh
keeps the
in with
lights
your
on. Literally,
ideas.
it does.
Yeah. So, last touch.
Keeps the bathrobe washed. The tea flowing.
That's right. It's not that hard, folks. Just go out there and see his button that says "Buy me a tea." You
Yeah,
can move
yeah.
the needle a little bit for this guy. And as for me, I will take any paid subscriptions, and I also have a buy me a coffee somewhere. I haven't made a button for it yet. Maybe you could teach me how to do that. We could do a little do it
Absolutely.
yourself, like Substack hacks. I don't know.
I should do that. I should write up all because I know there's a few glitches and stuff that people don't know about too that are like weird. Like there's this glitch in the chats, like your DMs,
Yeah.
where if you pin, I think it's 25 or 30. If you pin too many, you'll get messages and not be able to see them anymore. So you'll have a notification that says somebody DM'd you, but you can't find it until you unpin a few. If you go and unpin a few that you have pinned, then it'll show up. It's really weird. I
I
don't
didn't
know
even know you
why,
could
and they
pin.
haven't fixed it. Like it's just that way.
Well, it's just a feature
But yeah,
now.
there's some really weird little things about and that you can download all your stats and stuff from Substack. If you go into your settings, you can like do a little download of your whole email list and all your subscribers and everything you've published and all that kind of stuff. So I should probably do a post on that.
Yeah,
Like
please
that'd be
do.
cool. Like,
And the other thing is, I got told last night that there's a thing you can add where you push a button and the thing will read a post to you.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Isn't that awesome? I
I don't
love
have it.
that.
I couldn't find it. So tell us
It
about
should
that
be
too.
right at the. It should be right in the top corner, top right corner when you go into somebody's post.
Huh?
Some of them you can read, and some of them it will read, and some of them it won't. But yeah,
Is there a rhyme or reason to that?
new, not that I've found.
Well, that's the
It
glory of
just
Substack
depends.
right now. I think it's evolving.
Yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
danger
It
is
is.
when they got notes, I think the danger is it turns into another social media. And like I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about, the substance, the quality, it's starting to look a lot like my Facebook feed with all these happy horseshit memes. And I hate to be like that about it, but when it comes down to it, I'm guilty as the next person of liking my happy
yeah,
horseshit.
yeah. Me too. I got to put out my inspirational quote every now and then, but
Got to boost my own feelings about it. Be like, oh, I did something. Maybe this will help
right, right.
somebody else.
Well, I mean, to me, I use it for advertising. It's just a way to get visibility on Substack for me, like because we don't have any other way of advertising. We have no way of promoting ourselves, really. Like,
It's a good
I
point.
don't have ads on Google or anything.
Yeah, it's a tricky business asking for help too.
It
In
is.
this
It
day and
is.
age, it really can distance people
Mm,
instead of
mm,
bringing them closer. And it's
right.
dicey. Anyway, it's been great to talk to you. Thank you so much for the
You
extra
too.
time. Been very
Absolutely.
generous. And I want
It's
to
been fun.
extend that generosity to anybody out there who wants to come on Harrowings podcast and, do what we're doing here or better. Hopefully not worse.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anything is bad. Sorry. I feel like I'm sticking my foot in my mouth now, but
No, no.
that won't be the first time.
Right?
Anyway,
Well, it's
good
all
to
good.
talk to you again. Stay
You too.
entangled, my
Yeah,
friend.
man. Stay
All
entangled,
right,
my friends. Peace.
out here.